Thank you. Благодаря ви. В началото само няколко думи на български, така за усещане. Чувствам се много добре, че имам тази възможност, да съм дори в четвъртък в Любляна и това е винаги нещо много специално. But if I want you to take some messages with you, I better, also not to embarrass me if any of my Bulgarian colleagues will watch this later on, switch to English. And I have to make two quick comments. First to Maria, it's mobiltel. If you say mobitel, somehow it's a historical pain, which we are bringing out. Of course it is. And one comment to Mr. Bubinac, a very common word for thank you in Bulgaria is merci. I was really shocked the first time I was there, everybody was talking to me, merci, merci, and I was like, am I sure on the right plane or in the right location? But yeah, very quickly. I've been working for 11 years for the Telekom Austria Group, which is the largest telecommunication operator in the Central and Eastern European countries. We cover countries from Liechtenstein, Austria, Slovenia, Croatia. We go to Serbia, Macedonia, Bulgaria, and a little bit of an outpost in Belarus. So 9 of those years I spent in Simobil, starting as a finance director, then moving to an executive position. And 2 years ago, I was given an opportunity by the group to join the company that at the time of the acquisition in 2004 was single largest investment that any Austrian company did outside of Austria. At that time, that was in an amount of 1.6 billion euro. We are very proud that we present an extremely positive business case for the owners, but nevertheless, it was a huge challenge ahead of me. But Bulgaria, if I ask you, what we know about Bulgaria, and my memory goes back to my primary school when we had these classes of geography, and there was a Rhodope Mountains. I'm not sure whether you know this. And to me at that time, that was the end of the world. There's nothing beyond. Today, it's fairly easy. It's 5 to 6 hours total time if you travel by plane. It goes like my career through Vienna. That's the only option. And if you take a car, if you're brave and if you want to have an interesting multicultural experience through driving through the countries on the way to Sofia, it takes you, depends on how brave you are, 9 to 10 hours. And it's a country which basically, and let me make a statement at the beginning, I like a lot. Once you leave Sofia, which is a tremendously big town, it's a beautiful, beautiful nature. It's a small, still manageable country in a way. It is part of EU, so it has a lot of nice things to see. At the same time, like every country in the world, there are specifics. And I will just mention a couple of them. They're basically, the famous yogurt, they call it kiselo mljako. It's actually not by coincidence named using Bulgaria there. And basically, they're very famous, and I know that you are young, that's why I'm using this example. They have their own zrče. So the Slunchev Brijak is a place which is very famous in the northern part of Europe, and IKEA Norway used it also for their commercial. That's how famous it is. But still, when we associate the words business in Bulgaria, and here I would ask a little bit for your help, what's the word that comes to your mind? What is the first word? Is it, sorry?
No, that's Romania.
Close. They have a Chinese company called Great Wall, which has a facility there, producing cars. Is it law and order? Corruption? What else? What are the words that pop up? And it's not a quiz, just shoot out. Okay? But nice people, I agree. Very nice people. But just to help you out, and this is not my resume, this is basically coming from the reports of the European Commission. This is coming from, let's say, analysis of local media, but these are the basic facts which are popping around. Some of them, if we make a parallel and we read some of the magazines that are much closer in a language that we understand much better, are popping also around us. So the direct comparison between the two countries is an obvious one. And I'm not going to go into the numbers, but the fact is that the countries are, let's say, on different levels in terms of key statistical indicators. but with the development that is very similar over the past couple of years. And to make it even more interesting, the comparison, Tuesday and Wednesday was a very special day for the, especially in Bulgaria, national pride sport, football, or soccer as they would call it. Both of the teams from the countries qualified unbelievably to the Champions League. So I know it's a great party, which I'm missing in Sofia at the moment, but that's the fact. One thing which I can also share with you, Sofia is a city of 1.5 million inhabitants, and it is an extremely international environment. Bulgaria is and was very open to foreign direct investments. They have investments from the United States, Arab country, China has its production facility there, Europe, everywhere. And the community that follows those investments is also there. Their school system, there you have German school, French school, Italian school, American school, English school. The first college, in fact, American college on the soil of outside US was in Sofia more than 100 years ago. So it's extremely international and welcoming. And one fact which is interesting and supports a little bit what Mr. Bobinac was saying, this is my own statistics, I calculated and compared some numbers. 9% of Bulgarian students are studying abroad. So they are actively seeking, they want international experience and they welcome it. So why Bulgaria? And let me just give you an example how it went. When I moved from Elan to Simobil, you know, you make a decision, there was a job application, everything went fine, and I spoke to my friends. And when I told them where I'm moving, they said, what? Why are you doing this? Why are you going to this company? It competes with a state incumbent. You have no chance, no way. Why are you doing this? 9 years later, I moved from Simobil to Bulgaria, to MTEL. And the question was, why are you doing this? Are you out of your mind? This is a great company. You managed to turn it around. Relax a little bit. Why are you doing this? And all the way, the guys were asking the right question. Why? They just didn't realize that they are just looking at it from the wrong perspective. So, the first question which I asked myself, and I'm here today sharing really my experience, is you need to understand, and I needed to understand why I want to do it. What is my motivation? And very early on, my motivation, I discovered, is in restructurings. I love dynamic environments where I can influence the change and I can watch the results of my work on hands. And this is the opportunity which I had in Elan, which I had in Simobil, and this was the opportunity which was offered to me as well as I moved to Bulgaria. So this is something which is really, really nice. That gives you, you know, kind of continuous challenge. Whenever you feel, and that's again my experience, whenever I felt like, oh, now it's nice, now I can take a 3-week vacation, that was a good time to think maybe I need something else. To learn, there's nothing new, but also to enhance whatever I knew about management. Again, just to build on what was said before, it is really different. You think you know everything. Here you know the environment, you know the people, you know the way they will react. You move within the group to another country, to another company, it is very different. Very different. Basic communication doesn't work. I was confused, and I'm still confused when my Bulgarian colleagues said to me, I asked them, should we do that? And they say, no. And you are, okay, still takes me 5 seconds to process. I'm getting better. Once I will not notice the difference, I will be deeply involved. But those are the little details that then build up to the great ones that challenge you to the maximum as a manager. And culturally, completely different, and what is even more important, it's the opportunity. So 2 facts, you need to understand why you want to do it, you need to find for yourself the right reasons, and you need to seize the opportunity when it comes. But of course, it's not all that easy, and I'm an analytical person by nature, so I have to give you also the other side of the story, which is as well important. It's what you have to consider as well that can have a potential negative impact. It's your family life, it's your social capital that you're in a way giving away as you're moving away from the environment in which you invested. It's a quality of living, and it's traveling. Traveling maybe surprises you that it's on the list, but I can tell you that an expat person you can easily recognize on an airplane. He's the one that falls asleep even before the plane takes out. So it's something that I believe adds up to my final point. It's not about me in this case. It's not about other people telling you what to do. It's all about you. The message for me that I learned and I want to pass on you is you need to understand what you want and why you want it. I read in the media a lot of recommendations. You should go out because this is not okay. You should go out because there is better. These are, let's say, what I call negative reasons. You need to know what your motivation is. And if you find an opportunity, you will see it, the opportunity that comes, that fills those motivations, ambitions, and the level of energy and effort that you're willing to put in. Nobody else can do that instead of you. And let me give you just a final picture. I think I'm already waved that. Just imagine the following story. There are two people driving in a car, a young man and a young lady. They know each other, they are, they like each other, and they're just driving away from their Bible lesson class. And they're talking, and they feel it's a nice mood, and the guy is a little bit sneaky, so when the left corner comes, he changes the gear, and his hand, falls on the knee of a lady, and for 2-3 seconds there's an awkward feeling. He doesn't know what to do, and the lady looks at him and said, "John, remember Psalm 21? And John doesn't know what to do, removes the hand and said, "Whoa, was I missing at that class? I really don't know. Maybe I was pretending to be sick," so he definitely doesn't know. He continues to drive. Another corner, 5 minutes later, again, he's feeling very confident. Misses the gear, the routine, touches the knee, and again, it's 3 to 4 second silence. And then she turns to him and said, "John, do you know Psalm 21? He's like, "Oh, embarrassed, I don't know. How can I admit I don't know?" So he simply drives home. He doesn't talk anymore, drops her at her house, drives to his home, runs up to the room, takes out the Bible, reads, and the Bible says, "Be brave, reach higher, and you will reach for heaven." So my message to you is, you need to know yourself, be ready, because the opportunities are out there. And if you're not ready, you will miss them. Thank you very much.